American football. That's the topic of this week's podcast. We're pretty far removed from the sport here in Taiwan, or so I thought. I mean, it's pretty hard to find a place to watch the Super Bowl here, so imagine my surprise to find that there's an amateur American football team here in Taipei called the Taipei Predators, and that they're pretty good. Good enough, it turns out, to get invited to the CityBowl League. The CityBowl League is a league in China that started in 2015 with 12 teams. They've since expanded from 33 teams from 30 cities in China, Hong Kong, and now Taiwan. The Predators are looking to take the league by storm this season, but it was a journey to get to this point. The captain of the Taipei Predators, Adam Mathias, met with me at a cafe to talk a little bit about the team's journey, their successes and struggles, his own footballing experience, and a little bit more. Here we go.
Adam Mathias. I grew up in a small town in Idaho, USA. McCall, Idaho. It's about 3,000 people, so super, super small. Lived there until I was about 18 years old. When I graduated high school, I got a wrestling scholarship. Went to go do that in Pacific University just outside of Portland, Oregon. I went initially to become a sports writer. I wanted to write about sports. I was writing high school articles about football and wrestling and track and golf and everything, and then walked out a cellular and molecular biochemist. So totally shifted gears when I got to college and got a job doing cancer research. Did that for about 10 years. Got an opportunity to do that here in Taiwan, so jumped on the opportunity. Just wanted to kind of give myself a challenge. I had never been to Asia before I stepped off the plane here at all. So totally culture shock. It's been outstanding. I've been here 3 years now. Work is going well. Life is good. Work-life balance is great. So that's basically me in a nutshell.
Okay. Excellent. And so how did you start playing football here?
There's a couple flag football leagues here in Taiwan, and a couple of my friends play on them, so I joined those teams. But every once in a while, we would practice at the same area as the Taipei Predators would practice, and I would see them over there. And one season, the Taipei Predators put together a flag team, and we played against them. And I knew two of the guys on the team, and so I asked them, I just said, hey, can anybody try out for the team? And they're like, yeah, we'd love to have you. So I tried out in 2016, in October of 2016, so I've been on the team for about 16 months now. It's been outstanding. I'm thoroughly impressed with the guys on the team. It's definitely a family environment. That's how I got into it.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about the Predators. When did they start, and I guess what are they? They're an amateur football team here?
Yeah, it's an amateur football team, and they started in 2015 actually. A couple of flag football teams got together and wanted to actually start doing some full contact stuff. There are leagues in China. There were some teams in Hong Kong, and the ultimate goal for them at the time, this predates me, but the ultimate goal for them was to build a team here in Taiwan, represent Taiwan, travel to Hong Kong, China, wherever, just in Asia, and kind of put Taiwan football on the map. So fast forward to really last year, we ripped off 3 wins in a row, ended up losing our last game of the season in a heartbreaker against one of the better teams, the best team in Hong Kong, and actually it was a Final Four team in one of the China leagues. And really, I think if you ask anybody on the Predators, we should have won that game, but we beat ourselves. And so that really that put us on the map. This year, over the past year and a half, we've been trying very hard to become an association, because right now we're sponsoring everything ourselves. We pay for our plane tickets, we pay for our football pads, we pay for everything that we do, all of our marketing, everything. So we've been trying to become an association, and once we become an association, then we can get sponsorship from companies and they can write it off on taxes. And so we actually just became an association last week. So this has been like a year and a half in the process. So now,
congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's huge. It's huge. So we've got momentum now, and so now we've established ourselves on a competitive standpoint. We've established ourselves as an association. So now it's just keeping the momentum going and really just building this steamrolling.
Okay. So you said you played the top 4 teams. So are you guys part of that league, or like how do you guys play games? Is it kind of like an exhibition game you guys play just to like get your name out there, or like what's going on there?
Well, that's how it had to start. Was we had to pick up games against teams that they were just exhibition games. No one was we had to basically play our way into a league. And so every game that we did last year, except for 2, were exhibitions. And that was just to kind of get us out there, get us playing some teams, show that we were competitive. We won a few games. And then we were invited into the South China Bowl tournament, which is us, 3 teams from Hong Kong and a team from Zhuhai, China. So we ended up getting second in the tournament pretty much. We had a game here that got rained out, canceled, and it was just kind of it was an unfortunate circumstance. We couldn't avoid it, but we ended up getting removed from the tournament because our game got canceled. So we ended up playing the team that won the tournament. We ended up playing them in a exhibition side game, and that's the game that we lost in heartbreaking fashion. And so they were the champions. We're a better team than they are. I absolutely believe that. I think if you were to ask anybody on the Predators, they would say the same thing. So now that we've established ourselves, this is our first year being in the CityBowl League, which I think there's over 20 teams in China in the CityBowl League, and we've got 8 games this season. Games against Shanghai, Beijing, Guiyang, Wenzhou, Shenzhen. So I mean, we're in it now.
Yeah. And that was after some trials and tribulations to get into the league. So tell me about the league itself. What are your hopes for the Predators this coming season?
The way that they do this league is there's actually 2 tiers to it. There's an A and a B, and any new team starts at B, and you have to play your way into A. And in order to get into the A group, you have to have a certain record. You have to have a winning record. You have to beat some teams.
It's kind of like the soccer leagues in
Yes.
England and stuff, like the regulation, like you want to be in Premier League versus the leagues below, stuff like that.
That's correct. So we have to play. Because it's our first year, we have to play our way into the A League. And the A League has a tournament at the end of every year, so they actually dome a champion. There is a champion of the entire CityBowl League. So again, that's our goal for this year. My personal goal for this team is to be undefeated. I thoroughly believe we can do that. That's going to be a huge, huge challenge, but I think we can do it. But I want that A League, and eventually I want that championship from the A League.
But the championship is at least 2 years away, right?
It would be 2019. It would be 2019. Yeah.
So are there going to be any games here in Taipei or Taiwan?
Yeah, we've got 4 home games. The first one's going to be the end of April, and then we've got another one in the end of May. Then we've got one at home in July, and then another one at home in September. So, yeah, we've got 4 games here in Taipei, 4 games away in various locations.
Okay. And how is the attendance, or what's the attendance like at the Predators games so far? I mean, the league hasn't started yet, but the exhibition games that you've played?
The exhibition games that I've played that are home, I've only played in one, and that is because the other one got canceled. And the one game that we had, the weather was terrible. It was absolutely terrible, so that kept some fans away. But we did stream the game live, and we did have 56,000 people watch the game live.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah, 56,000 people.
Man, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's awesome, yeah.
So the hardest thing here is finding a place that will allow us to play. That has been seriously one of the biggest challenges for us, is we don't have a home stadium for us. And
so where do you guys play currently?
Right now we practice out in Tianmu at the sports university out there, just on their soccer field. We're not allowed to reserve that field, so we have to get out there early on Sundays and get our space and kind of claim it and then go from there. But for home games, we still don't have a field. We still don't have a home. So we have to...
Even with the City League going on?
Even with the City League going on, yeah. We've had all sorts of trouble reserving fields. So now that we're an association, we're really hoping that we can, that'll give us some leverage to do this. It really is frustrating because we have these... people are going to get exposure. We're 56,000 people watching the game online. Get a stadium here that can house some people, and you got teams from Beijing, from Shanghai, from Wenzhou. We're gonna get some people if we can have a place to play.
This is all around good for Taiwan, right? That you want?
Absolutely, of course. That's the goal of all of this. We wanna represent Taiwan.
How did you get into playing football? Did you play it when you were younger?
Yeah, I started playing football when I was in junior high school, and I was always really small, and so I had to fight harder than most everybody just because of my size. I played offensive lineman, and I was only like 90 pounds. What would that be, like 45 less than 45 kg, and playing offensive line. So I was just this little mean kid. But
a terrier or something.
Yeah. But in high school, I thinned out a bit, got faster, played receiver and corner. So.
Okay. And what position do you play now?
Right now I've been playing receiver, safety, and corner, and then returning kicks and punts.
How many people are on the Predators?
We have, right now on the active squad, we have 56 people. So we've got it. That's the size of an NFL team.
Yeah, 53, right?
53. Yeah.
So, and how has that team kind of grown and progressed over the years? Like, how do you find people? Like, what's the talent level been like, et cetera? Like, all that good stuff.
Oh man, that has been the single best part, is watching the young men grow. And they're young men. Most of them are in college still, even a couple in high school. So this is not a sport that's here, and there's only a handful of us, maybe less than. There's probably 6 of us on the team that have played before at any level, and before the Predators was here. So people are coming to us to try out, and they've never played catch before with the football. Some of them have played catch, but that's it. And so it's teaching them the fundamentals, but then watching them grow. And over the course of the last 2 years, starting from a team that is 90% people that have never played before to now competing with, last year, a Final Four team in the CityBowl League, that's pretty remarkable. And the growth, the determination, these guys are really fantastic. And that's why I really want them to get this, exposure. I want them to have a place to play, a home, they represent Taiwan very well on the field, but also off the field. These guys work hard in their careers and their own personal lives. So
what's the breakdown of the team, like locals, like people from Taiwan versus elsewhere?
The 56 active people on the roster, I believe we have 10 foreign nationals or Taiwanese born, American raised, or Australian raised. It's roughly about 80%, 85% is Taiwanese. Age range from 17 to 45.
I didn't expect that. I expected this to be like a foreigner-dominated team. So this is mostly Taiwanese people getting into American football and playing.
Yes. That and the league that we're a part of does a great job. The goal of all of this is to grow the sport. So we're actually limited to only have 3 foreign people on the field at one time, and you have 11 people on the field. So everybody's getting a chance to play, and everybody's getting a chance to prove themselves, and everybody's getting a chance to learn. So yeah.
That's fantastic. So what are the practices like? You said that you kind of just teach them the fundamentals and then you just watch them grow from there. But is there a coach that you guys have? Like, do you guys have a local coach, or is it kind of just like self-taught? Everybody just shares their experience and all of that?
Yeah, we have one coach. He played, I believe, Division III ball for a year or two in Ohio. He's 31, super nice guy. But then other than him, his name is Lewis Clark. Other than him, we those of us that have played before, we coach. So it's being a player and a coach.
Wow, I'm still like my mind is still blown by the fact that it's mostly locals.
Yeah.
So it's like recruitment. Like, how do you guys spread the word?
Marketing. For the most part, it was word of mouth to start. It was very difficult to get traction here. But the more exposure that we get, the more games that we play, that it just grows and grows and grows. When I tried out in October of 2016, I think we had 6 people try out. The last tryout that we held, we had, I think, like 18. And then we've been getting so many inquiries about tryouts recently that we weren't planning to do it, but we're going to have another tryout this Sunday. But it's just because we've been getting so many inquiries about doing it. When we're bringing on new players, for those of us that are players and coaches and we're about to go into a season, it's a pretty big commitment for us, because we've got to start at the fundamentals and the very basics of things, but we also have to stay sharp ourselves and get ourselves game ready for an 8-game season. So we don't want to have tryouts in the middle of the season. So we decided that we're going to do another one here this Sunday. So
I found out about this through the press. Do you think people are reaching out for these tryouts because they read it on CNA or something like that?
Yeah. We've had numerous people say that. Yeah. I saw this on TV. Wanted to come and see if you guys are having a tryout. Like I said, it was difficult to get the traction, but now that we've got the traction, I feel like we've got the momentum, and now it's just rolling. Okay. It's rolling.
And what position do they try out for most? Like, what position do they want to play?
Well,
that's most popular, I should say.
Yeah. So it's difficult here because in the U.S. you'd think everybody would want to try out for the quarterback position or the running back. Something with a lot of like
glamour. The glamour.
Glory, yeah. But here it's not a sport that people know, so they're just trying out to learn the game. So they're just speaking in generalities, there are not a lot of really large, tall, big, huge, Taiwanese guys. And so finding offensive linemen and defensive linemen that fit that traditional mold of a player for that position has been a little bit difficult. So there's all sorts of really athletic, fast, quick guys here. So, filling skill positions like running back, wide receiver, in the defensive backfield and stuff like that, it's not been very difficult. Finding people to play in the trenches has been a little bit more challenging.
Generally speaking, the people who play in the trenches, they don't get any sort of glory or anything like that, or any sort of recognition for the most part.
Well, that's the truth. You see it even in the NFL. Name 5 offensive linemen.
Cannot.
Joe
Thomas.
Yeah. So, but that's the position. You don't get the glory, but you are absolutely the most important group on the entire field. A quarterback cannot throw the ball if he doesn't have time to throw it. Right. A running back can't run the ball if he doesn't have time to run. So, they are the unsung heroes of any football team, is the offensive and defensive lines. So, quarterbacks on our team, running backs on our team, they treat our offensive linemen well.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So do you guys kind of have what would it be, like clinics or sessions for people who want to just learn about the rules of football, or not even just try out or play, but kind of just like, educating the public before the season starts?
We've done one session like that, and it actually turned out pretty well. We haven't scheduled anything else to do that. It probably isn't necessary to do it again. The rules of American football are a little bit complicated, and I do believe that is one of the reasons why it fails to gain traction anywhere in the world, not just here in Taiwan, but anywhere, is the rules are a little bit complicated for people. So, yeah, in order to be a good fan, really, most great fans have a strong understanding of the game. They understand the rules. They know what to look for. It's a great sport if you understand it, but it's a little bit confusing if you don't. So yeah, we probably need to do another one.
And is there anything that I missed that you think we should talk about?
I can't really think of anything. Just getting our name out there, gaining traction. It's really, I think the biggest thing about this group is just the camaraderie and the family nature of it is it's really special. It's really special to be a part of something like this, especially a foreign person coming to Taiwan, never expected to be playing football here. It's a unique way for me to kind of contribute to being a good guest here in Taiwan is coaching and teaching these guys, but it's not about it's not just about football. It's a lot of these things that you learn in football about battling through adversity, challenging yourself, being mentally tough, pushing yourself, those and being a good teammate. Those are all things that you can apply to real life, whether it's career, whether it's relationships, whether it's whatever you do. If you're good at those things, you're generally going to be successful. So aside from teaching people the technique and the game of football, those of us who have played before are also trying to teach that mentality so that it can be applied outside of work as well. Because let's be real, when we play the game and when we travel, we don't just represent Taiwan Predators, we represent Taiwan. So it's important for us to make sure we are showing our best character when we travel, when we're here, we're being good hosts, we're being good guests wherever we go.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Really appreciate this.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Anytime.
Since the interview took place, the Predators were able to lock down a practice field and host their home games there. You can go and find more information about Predators football online on their Facebook page and go and support your local team as they go and represent us abroad in the CityBowl League. You can find the CityBowl League schedule online as well. I'd like to thank Adam Mathias for his time and conversation, and I would like to thank you for listening to this. And that was this week's Taiwan Talk. I'm Alex Lewis.